Hello everyone, welcome back to a new replay cast. Today we're going to be having a look at a game between stats. In top right spawning as the red Protoss player. In the bottom left spawning as the blue Zerg, it's going to be Reynor. It's a game recently played in the DreamHack seasonal finals. We're going here on Pillars of Gold with a fast pylon scout coming out of stats here. I believe actually this was a scout slightly faster than pylon, so he must have sent one of his first workers out, then built a pylon with a second worker. And yeah, you're gonna get a timing like this. 15 hatch. No, that's denied. So the usual timing for a hatchery is 16 hatch, and then you have a 15 hatch post overlord. So you get the overlord, build one or two more drones, do the 14 and the 15, and then you try to build the hatchery. This only works if the toss is a little bit late with sending that first probe over. If they send it immediately, once the first probe returns minerals, you're almost always going to be fine as the toss denying that type of hatchery. So that's going to suck a little bit for Reynor. I mean, it delays his 16th drone a little bit because he thought he could get away with it, but he didn't. And now here we are, hatchery on the third base. I believe on 17 supply as well, so it's not quite ideal. The queen timings don't quite mess up, which is annoying. Let's see what else we have. We're going to see a spawning pool coming out, some gas mining, and here we have stats building a cyber core down on the natural as well. So stats looking to just go into that very standard game most likely. Either be going the glaive route or the Stargazer. This looks a bit like a glaive positioning to me, honestly. Usually Stargate, you build it over here or something, or right next to your nexus. But this, he's kind of hiding it out of the way. This is, yeah, I'm getting glaives vibes, or at least some type of Twilight play. But of course, could be wrong. No, we're gonna see a warp gate here, so that does usually indicate some type of Twilight play. Straight warp gate with a Stargate is very, very uncommon, especially with Stalker first as well. I wonder if he's actually gonna be able to get this. Let's see how fast Reynor will respond to that Stalker coming out. So he's looking. Here's the Stalker, immediately responds. Very, very quick. Looking at things. Ooh, it is gonna be a Stargate actually, okay. So this is gonna be one hell of a fake. Stats is known for playing glaive adept builds. What is this probe still doing here? And what is this probe doing here now? A little bit of a misrally here coming out of stats. This probe makes its way over to the natural as well. He needs to build a second gateway. Yes, perfect. If you want to be faking a glaive build, you gotta do it properly. So get your second gateway on time. Start your third gateway unit at an appropriate time as well. Otherwise, someone like Reynor is just not gonna fall for it, basically. Wait, he's actually... Okay, I don't quite understand this. So he spends all this time and energy into hiding that he's playing Oracle, and then he's gonna rally the Oracle straight into the Overlord to try and kill it. Now, I've seen a lot of weird things in my time, but this absolutely takes the cake. I do not understand this whatsoever. Just whatsoever. So Reynor's stuck here with the Overlord not moving away. And the Stalker's gonna pick up a kill. He's actually gonna supply block Reynor a bit, and he's gonna need to build another Overlord as well. He's gonna run into another supply block once these larvae pop. And he's still fine for now, but he's gotta be a little bit careful there. Spore's going down immediately, of course. Spore in the main already finished. Natural Spore, no, there's nothing in the natural actually. Oi, not even a queen. Kinda gambling, hoping that nothing shows up in the natural. He would have definitely been too late. Stasis straight away by stats. Not the biggest fan of this, honestly. It's gonna take out one drone. And for Zapu, hello. Oh my god, he loses first Oracle. That's terrible. Two adapts on the other side. Kill two workers. And two links. This is a really bad start here for stats. His third base is extremely late as well. He loses first Oracle and he loses two adapts. Follows up with a Robo. No Forged Twilight yet. Double Sentry. His stack, like any type of push from here is just simply not gonna hit before 720, 725. And his early game damage is gonna be non-existent. He had to warp in 6 gateway units, or get 7 gateway units total already, which really delays extra gateways. It delays your Forge, your Twilight. Like, oh, this is looking really bad. He also got 4 gas before the 3rd base, which means that his economy is just going to be worse over time, because his 4th was delayed by a solid 40-50 seconds, without really any advantages there. I'm very curious to see how Stats is gonna make somewhat of a game out of this, because I played a lot of games against Reynor, and if you give him an advantage like this in the early game, he's gonna go up to like 80, 82 workers as fast as he can, and from there on out, like honestly, you're just gonna be having a really, really tough time. Okay, 2nd Oracle, getting put in the red as well. 19 HP left on that bad boy. 3 more drones on the way here for Reynor as the 4th base. It's only halfway done actually, so these drones are gonna be long distance mining. The long distance mining drones on the 4th, also known as Oracle Heaven. If you have 2 oracles and this type of stuff happens, what you always try to do is you try to trick the queens away from their 4th base. They're like pretending to go over here. You fly like this, you go into the main or something, then bam, you end up at the 4th, and here's the jackpot, you know? There's no spore yet there, because a lot of the time, well, they didn't have a base there, and usually there's no creep yet either, so they have to build the spore on the side. And you can get decent amount of drones usually here. Maybe an Archon drop. But it's not a straight Archon drop like we were used to. This is the type of Archon drop where there is potential for like charge loads and M+1 to be added onto it. And we see that Reynor, he has a massive roach count already. 80 workers, massive roach count. I would love to see 2nd Evo being started as well. Yeah, that's a good play. I mean, his eco is so good right now. He's gonna be going straight into a late game. 5th base should start soon. Let's see where he decides to take it. I'm actually kind of curious about that. Because, I mean, he's just saturated here, and I know Reynor wants to be going up to a way higher worker count than, or way higher, he wants to be going up to 99, maybe even 100 drones. 5 more Hydras are on the way, +2 starts. This 4th base is going to be a cancel, as Stats really has nothing whatsoever to be able to deal with this. Now that he warps in, he will be able to do something, but this army looks so freaking weak, my dudes. This army looks so freaking weak, and I have no clue how Stats is going to be able to get to an army that looks semi-respectable. He's on 68 works and someone that's on 92. He's gonna fall behind in upgrades soon. The only thing we can say that Reynor has been... Jeez, 11 more drones. The only thing that Reynor has been missing out on is that his hive was delayed by about 20-25 seconds. Started a Spire, cancels a Lurker then, so maybe he was thinking of Brood Lords. I would always say Brood Lords in this situation seem terrible, but I mean, if it's 8 minutes and 40 seconds in game, your opponent is only now getting a 4th base, and you're already on 102, maybe you can do something with a Brood Lord push, but I respect the Lurker play. It's the more solid play. 1-1 upgrade or 2-1 upgrades are on the way here for Reynor. And once his Lurker then finishes, we're going to be seeing the upgrades starting in there as well. 6th base on the way. Spine should start going down soon. This is the time where usually Zealot run by start tap. We see a Prism on the left side and not spotted yet by Reynor. Does he have Overlord speed? Yes, he does. I love to see it. It's one of those upgrades that's so useful for building these, or for checking these Zealot run bys, for making sure that prisms aren't always around. So Reynor's gonna spot this and it's like, alright, that's cool buddy, but I mean, I've spotted you. And Stats spotted that he got spotted, so he's like, alright, I'll just send these bad boys back. No need to lose them for free. Oracle took down something here, might have been a queen. Might have been a creep tumor as well. Actually, looks more like a creep tumor, yeah. He did take some damage though, so it might have been something else. I'm not quite sure. I missed that. 2 Stargates on the way, so that's +1 upgrade here for Stats. Now, Reynor's gonna try to make something happen here. That's gonna be his main idea, is to make something happen. He has seismic spines on the way, which is going to give his lurkers 2 extra range. He has 3 lurkers out already. And he's going down to 88 workers right now as he's building more and more spines. 2 more drones to go down somewhere. Over here, okay. 3 carriers on the way, as well as double spires. A couple more drones. Very passive game from both players. You see the... This is a surprise, yeah. I mean, Stats just is professionally killing this game in a way. Where it's like, you know what? I think I'm just behind, so eco is not going to be my priority here. My priority is going to be crafting an army that can fight yours, and then I'm going to take very, very careful engagements every single time. And that's, to me, it seems like a pretty decent plan. Stats is really quite fast with this control. Even though he didn't have vision of that, that's impressive. I mean, there's not a lot of lurkers. It's not like anything Reynor is doing right now looks particularly dangerous in any way. Like this army is not gonna kill you, you know? Absolutely not. 4 Hydras fighting 3 carriers. I know Reynor's units sometimes seem to do a little more damage, but even for him that is ambitious to say the least. We have a bunch of lurkers out already. 8. The exact 14 Hydras, a couple of Vipers making their way on the map. And we have 1-1 upgrades coming out on the Spire. But we have 6 carriers already, which is honestly a pretty high carrier count. And once he gets the 6 carriers, now all of a sudden, if there's no Corruptors yet, yeah, I was thinking that might actually be dangerous. So 6 Corruptors do start, you have a little bit of a roach run by, and this is all like he cancels a 5th and loses 10 roaches, but this is definitely exactly what Reynor wants. He doesn't want to have roaches in his army right now. Moving forward with the lurkers, trying to get some damage done, trying to get anything done really at this point. As Stats is just really inching forward. He's absolutely taking his time, his sweet, sweet time. Now we have 77 workers for Stats, 78 workers for Reynor. So Reynor really getting a lower worker count than I initially expected. A lot of that early worker count has been invested now in spores. The units lost still in favor of Stats. He's been taking some decent fights, but his early game eco was so bad, and now he's in an okay-ish position. I mean, he has 6 carriers, 3 more are on the way. And now the dance can begin, basically. So the most important thing here for Stats is to not get yoinked. There is no High Templar with this army, so not getting yoinked is going to be a real issue here. There goes nothing. Oh, there goes the mothership. So yeah, this is why you need to have Templar with this army. Ideally have the mothership on a separate hotkey as well, so you can fly it away, but yeah, a lot of tossers just don't have the control groups for that. When you're controlling an army like this, usually you're already going to be working with 3-4 control groups, and adding a separate hotkey for the mothership might make it a little more difficult. That's actually not leaving any Templar here whatsoever, so his defensive position is going to be a bit worse than before. So the thing that Reynor is doing now, which I always love to see, oh my god, he's actually getting a pretty decent fight here. He's going to get 2 carriers for free. But what I was going to say is what he does is he does a run by with a small army that isn't necessarily going to be able to kill anything in any major way, but at least distract the main army and force the main army to go there. I mean, this is what 4 carriers have gone down so far. 5 carriers and a mothership. Like, this is looking good for Reynor, actually evening up the units lost stat. A couple of stalkers were forced to be warped in here. What's the lurker count? Only 4 left. 17 corruptors. 1 viper still here with us as well. I wouldn't mind seeing 1 extra viper being built. Gotta be a bit careful here, Reynor. Don't want to be flying in just with those corruptors. I mean, those corruptors are nice, right? It's cool, but they're a little bit damaged right now, so gotta get their health back a little bit. Take some time with corruptors. I'll not quite have the Mutalisk regeneration. And he tries to move in, but Stalker's actually doing a decent job here at fending off those corruptors. Now here come the lurkers moving forward as well. No Viper still, which is gonna suck a little bit. And Reynor actually going in for some type of kill move here. I'm not quite sure about that. I much prefer seeing him play with the very patient lurker corruptor split. Straight up engagements tend to be mistakes. He does get 2 carriers now. Still 19 corruptors out. Are they all here? No, I don't think so. And a lot of corruptors just went down there. So Reynor's supply actually dwindling a little bit, and stats taking the upper hand in this game, I'd say. 6 Vipers, 13 corruptors, 4 more lurkers on the way as well. So what we really want to be seeing here from Reynor is we want to be seeing those lurker attacks on one base, outranging the cannons, and then forcing the carrier army to move there. And while the army is flying, you come from the side with Vipers, with Corruptors. That's kind of the main idea of this style. And ideally you're capable of one-shotting carriers, so 25 Corruptors is going to be a beautiful number here. There's no spores here whatsoever, meaning that if stats actually gets an attack in, this could be kind of dangerous. But the problem with moving on creep is that there's so many angles where the Corruptor Viper could come from, that if you don't get a good tag off with your Oracle, you're actually going to be in a little bit of trouble. Here comes the cavalry. Gonna get a single carrier. For now, Zealot run by doing some big damage here on the bottom side as well. No spines here to defend that. 10 workers have gone down. Single spine here will not be of that much of a help. Here they come again. Mothership is gonna get taken down. Yes, there we go. At once another carrier goes down as well. So decent trades here, but nothing really to stop the ground army from moving forward. No lurkers here. Now what's the lurker? There's only 3 lurkers remaining. They're all on the right side, not being used currently. A lot of the carriers are falling, but a lot of the eco of Reynor is falling as well. This is gonna be a nasty fight here, as all the carriers are gonna end up falling. Not quite one-shotting the carriers though. I'm not a fan of this flyover. This is gonna cost him some Corruptors. There we go. There's about 3-4 Corruptors that died there to Sniper Prison. That's not ideal, but he's still in a good spot. Reynor, that is, of course. 27 workers have gone down. The bottom right base has fallen. The top left base has fallen as well. So income not quite what it used to be, but the same could be said for stats. It's the moment he doesn't get this 6th base up and running. I mean, this base is semi-mined out. This base is basically mined out. So we're really working just off 2.5 bases, which you can see in the income. Even though he has more workers, he's not actually mining much more. Reynor also kind of mining off 2.5 bases here still. Yeah, kind of 2.5, almost 3. Here come the Corruptors, only 10 left. I don't think it's going to be good enough to fight this Nexus though. Yes, Reynor does need to give up that plan for now. Gets in possession with Lurkers. He's going to be able to take out this 4th base, I think this originally was. Looks good. Corruptors not with this army, so carriers will clean this up eventually, but +2 carapace, of course, putting in some work on these roaches. And it's only 3 carriers, so not that big of a deal now. I'm curious to see what Reynor is going to do. Is he going to move further towards the right side to clear this base? Or is his plan to really start moving in? Corruptor count is still at 8. This is 3 carriers. I don't think he can kill those, can he? He's going to get 1 more. And yeah, this one's gonna get healed by a super battery. So Reynor actually really low in money right now. I feel like he doesn't have enough anti-air. 10 more Corruptors are on the way. Another 11 drones go down. Reynor not having lurkers in defense is actually costing him a lot right now. Here come a couple of decent storms as lurkers try to chase. I mean, the lurk count seems to be big enough to just fight this army, right? But once again, income's pretty equal. Pretty even indeed. Bigger bank for stats currently. Who is, I guess on 5 base. We see this base going up for Reynor, but with what drones is he gonna saturate that? I mean, he doesn't actually have that many drones at all. There's a couple over here, maybe a couple in the main he could use. A couple already long distance mining, but I'm actually kind of afraid for him here. His Corruptor count is very low. If these 3 carriers finish, then I mean, there's no Hydras with this either. Usually you have some type of Hydra support. But here I'm getting a little bit afraid that if 1 or 2 decent storms hit, these Corruptors, like he might actually just lose all of his anti-air. There's no Vipers here anymore either with any type of energy. Yeah, there's maybe 1 Abduct remaining on this bad boy. No, it doesn't seem to be the case. Once again, run by Stalker Zealot. It's gonna take out the hatchery. Lurkers come back too late. Blink. Blink not being utilized. A lot of Stalkers falling for free right there. Lurkers moving forward are gonna be able to kill this base. Sieging further and further up. Zealots meanwhile the bottom right side also taking out this bottom right base. There's no defense here whatsoever. Lurkers are moving in for the defense. We'll be able to get these Zealots, I believe. Now Stats issues a retreat command, and that's exactly what the Zealots are going to be doing. We have 17 Corruptors. Where are these Vipers at? Not in the greatest position. I'm not sure what these Lurkers are doing, but this definitely ain't it. No, you can't just fly over that. He's gonna lose all of his Lurkers for free. That is a very big deal. I think Reynor kind of forgot about the Lurkers here for a second, and that's gonna cost him dearly. He's gonna try to jump in on top of those carriers because he realizes once he loses those Lurkers, he might just lose the game. Parasitic Bomb being utilized here, but the anti-air actually just not being enough right now. Only having 3-3 as well on that air, not helping out there. As I think Stats has a pretty clean win from here on out. He can just walk across the map. I mean, there's not enough anti-air to deal with 5-6 carriers. There's 2 more carriers on the way as well. 3-2 upgrades, 3-2 upgrades here for Stats. So slightly better attack upgrade on air than Reynor has. Reynor was still stuck on +2 carapace as well. +3 carapace actually is really big against carriers. Like any type of carapace upgrades against carriers is big because interceptors, there's loads of them. You know, so a lot of small damage being done. So 1 extra armor would definitely help out there. Same, of course, can be said for the Corruptors with only +2 carapace as well. Here we have the Corruptors trying their best to fight these interceptors, but I mean, there's just too many, I think. There's just too many. We have 5 Corruptors against 8 carriers currently. Now, Corruptors can look pretty powerful against carriers, but not if there's 5 Archons underneath, and not if the Corruptor count is this little. There's another Nexus going back up, I guess, on the left side over here. Income is relatively equal still. It's, I want to say income-wise, Reynor is doing fine, but you look at his army, he has 7 Lurkers and 6 Corruptors against 8 carriers and 6 Archons. I understand that Stats is very, very careful. He doesn't know what we know, of course, but yeah, if these carriers just start flying forward, I'm having a hard time seeing how Stats is gonna lose this game, honestly. It's such a powerful army. 2 Archons being warped in at home to deal with a bunch of links. This is one of the nice things of playing against pure Lurker styles, is that you don't really have to worry about Baneling run-bys. As there's no +2 melee and there's no Baneling, so that's always really nice. 1 carrier does go down there. Good micro coming out of Reynor. There's no Vipers with this army, 9 Corruptors right now. Reynor's making things work, actually. I'm surprised by that. A bunch of links though. Links completely useless here. No adrenal glands, no attack upgrades whatsoever. So even just like 4 or 5 Zealots would be able to have one hell of a fight against these links without their attack upgrades, and it's exactly what we're going to be seeing here. Like, these Zealots they're not trading evenly, but they probably would trade evenly in cost. Like, it's going to be so difficult. Now here we have the Corruptors. I mean, he's just going to get absolutely blasted here. He's going to kill a single carrier and lose every single Corruptor for it. GG gets called, as Stats win this fantastic late game. This weird game which Stats played out so passively, so patiently, just making sure to not die after a terrible early game. So, good job to him. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button, as it helps me a lot. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks all for watching, and bye bye.